Yes, it's noted, General Perez. Actually, just a point of view. This report, if you are imagine, there is no signature from the chairman, the former chairman. Binago na pala. No, sorry. There is no counter signature from the BP International last year and the auditor. So this, I will just give you a copy of the exchange of email for this one. I have a lot of query this one. I can send you.
Mr. Chairman, I'm Joey Salalila from Jeddah Chapter. In the PSME Core of Values, there must be an integrity. There must be a transparency. Now, you received that report, 5,147.67, and the value is 225,902.33. How long did you ask that guy who prepared this one why they cannot explain? And the second one is, if always will be the report, it will be like that. Please allow me to speak Tagalog. Kung hahayaan natin na lagi na lamang ganyan ang gagawin ng bawat chairman o ng sino man na upo dito, anong silbi ng paghihirap namin? Ginawa namin yan para dito, sa grupo. At lagi na lang natin sasabihin, lagi may kulang. At sino man nanagot? Sinong ulo ang dapat pagulungin? At kung hindi kayang pangatawanan, ang isang chairman, dapat bumaba. Ang sa akin lang, kung ganyan lagi sasabihin natin sa harap namin at sa harap ng tao dito, bakit pa tayo upo?
Matagal
Ayaw ko sanang magsabi, Chairman, pero sana, kung kinakailangan pagulungin ang ulo, pagulungin. At kung kinakailangan magsambit ng pangalan, sambitin. Hindi tayo dapat matago.
This is the report of the fourth chairman, Engineer Reste Sibug. That is your colleague in the chapter. From the start of the reporting, because I was the administrations committee that time, I submitted 2 days after the fourth MERC activities. And since that day, I started digging this one through the consent of our BP International, past BP International. And lately, this is the submittal that I get. I will give you a copy of all the transactions email queries, if you allow.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much for the report of fourth MERC. Being the chairman of the third MERC, as per our agenda, I had turned over an amount of approximately 34,700 to the fourth MERC. 34,700. So that means to say, based on the trends now, we as mechanical engineers are not economic managers. So this is a point of concern why we should be having this operation na nagdi-negative na naman tayo. I turned over a cash of 30,000, 4,800 is collectible from the second MERC. Now, the 30,000 which I turned over, 5,000 na lang based from that report. So, this is a point of concern that we have to consider for future operations of the PSME Middle East. Thank you.
Para maliwanag, I would like to ask the 2013 BP International if this report was being reported to you, submitted.
Mr. Chairman, but I already informed you before that this report, this is the first time that I have sent this report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ransom Peron is already in the chapter. With the 2013, as 2013 Vice President International, we have submitted as per the minutes of the meeting, as recorded and as received by our former appointed secretary at that time. It is clear, maybe myself could prove that that is the amount that is being reported verbally by the Finance Committee Chairman at the time. At the end of my term, I have turned over to the incoming Vice President International to follow up the actual report of the Finance Committee and also by the Chairman of Port MERC. And this report was not even passed through me, but in fact, I believe he submitted it directly to the 2014 Vice President International with that value, which is only 5,147.67. I gave instruction to the incumbent Vice President International to see to it that the chairman of last year's MERC and also the chairman of the Finance Committee should be present to explain why this one only 5,147 and not the previous value which has been reported. As mentioned earlier, there might be some actual expenses which is not reported on the time because the time of report, that is not detailed report. That is the total assumption that they have, that they will have that money. At the time of the report, they don't have that exact cash on hand, but that is their approximate amount. And we could only question that one if it is being put here in detail and has been audited. So far, this report has not been audited, so it means that the report, even the incumbent Vice President now, will only report, but it does not mean that we have to accept the report until it is being clarified. It is reported now for the purpose of transparency. It is reported now for the purpose of clarity. That is the only amount that is being turned over by the last chairman and also by the last Finance Committee chairman. As your last year's responsibility, but because of the turnover, I have already turned over that responsibility to the Vice President incumbent right now, which is still an open thing for him to find out what really had happened. And I am not escaping also my responsibility. I assure that I will support him to find out what had happened. That is only the thing I could do. I could believe there is no signature from me, there is no signature from the incumbent chairman. So it means it's still an open thing. And even for the presentation right now, we could not even see that there is something that manipulation happened, because that is just an assumption until we could find the whole report with the full supporting documents.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I think rather than we deliberate this budget, the previous budget expenses in budget, and then present it later on to the chapters, the detailed audited report, financial report of the Port MERC.
That is the point of view for the engineer Ransom Peron. He will dig and I will dig and then dig.
Mr. Chairman, Jean Rivera from White Chapter. And I'd like to make a motion that the BPI 2014 will ask the concerned chairman of the Port MERC to give an audited report within 7 days, and it will be distributed information to the chapters.
I will do the request query within 7 days and copy furnished to all the chairman of the former. The appointed auditor is supposed to be the last chairman. This is the process that we discuss time by time. Okay, it's clear for you? So that we can go on, the time is running out. If we will exceed here 7 o'clock, another meter will ask from the hotel.
Mr. Chairman, Joey Salalila from Jeddah Chapter. If ever,
Sorry, there is already motions seconded by the Engineer Rivera. So okay, we'll proceed.
okay, that's, we can proceed, but next time, wait for the others before you close. Thank you.
Based on the advance meeting with the chapter president, I make a query on this one. Who will be the one to host for the 6 MERC and big for this event? Saudi Arabia chapter is declining. No, that is already. Sorry. The item number 7 is the preliminary report for the 5th MERC chairman. Sorry, I jumped to the other item. Can we ask the chairman to give us this preliminary report?
So, we refer to the initial preliminary report of the PIPIN chairman. This is available. The 10 participating chapter, 11 including the PSME national. Here the delegates of the 5th MERC. By chapter, Abu Dhabi 17, Bahrain 7, Central Region Saudi Arabia 17, Dammam 6, Jeddah 7, Kuwait 4, Oman 3, Qatar 19, Saudi Arabia 36, UAE 57, Yanbu 3, total of 176. That figure does not include our sponsor and guest. And if I were not mistaken, we over, I think yesterday, our number of participants more than 240, including guests and the sponsors. Any question? Now let's go to the financial report.
Excuse me. Abu Dhabi delegates is 18 numbers.
No, so
So,
18 delegates.
yeah, 18
I'm not
delegates.
sure, but
Sir, please state your name.
Mersina of Abu Dhabi chapter.
we will know. We will check that correction. All right. Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes. Yes.
West Million of Saudi Arabia chapter.
Yeah.
Just a point of clarification. May we know this Dammam chapter?
Okay.
Who are they?
Change that. The month chapter. What is the month? So, noted. Maybe we'll just add it on as a chapter. So we will check that the list. Okay. I'm sorry. Next, these are the list of the sponsors that we got. The main sponsor is LG. Secondary sponsors Manasco, Equator, Abdullah Fuad, the holdings company. Exhibitors are NAPCO, Dyna Air, Permapite, UTS Carrier, Kruger Mill List, and Century Properties. Now, I'll go to the financial report. First, I will show you the budget before the 5th MERC, and I'll ask our financial committee chairman to show you or to present to you the partial and unofficial report. Okay, as you can see, the inflows, we have targeted around 311,310, and it was detailed. The greens are what we got. Yellow is we have deficit. And the 2014, the red highlights, actually we did not hit that number after a big deficit on those numbers. Then let's go down on the expenses. If you can see the first item, the reception, up to the fellowship, that is as per actual. So if that means if we increase our delegates or our number of heads tonight, if we exceed it, then that means the number of itself will go up. Okay, that is actual right now. Actual, the first three items are based on actual. So with the program, I believe it's also actual. All right. So anyway, by going together, the total expenditure expected is 281,040, and we're expecting a net balance of 30,270 based on the inflows. But that's the budget. That's as per the budget inflows. Okay, now I'll give the floor to our Finance Committee Chairman to report the partial and unofficial report of the financial for the quarter.
Good evening, fellow engineers. My name is Francis Uy. I'm the VP Journal of PSME UAE chapter and current incumbent FCC chairman. I will be giving some partial and unofficial report for our current fifth MERC. Okay, for the inflow, cash inflow, we received from the fourth MERC 4,921 in dirhams. This will be all total in dirhams. For the registration, we have 176. We have 10 sponsors, namely LG, Panashco, Ecotherm, Abdullah, Navco, Permapipe, Carrier, Dynair, Kruger, and Century Properties. So these 10 as per their commitment for that one. And then advertisements, we received from different chapters a different amount. Some we have converted already as per the forex change. So we received a 13,074 in dirhams.
Actually, the PP International had sent, upon my request, had sent a notification or email to the chapter president, 2,000 dirhams pledge for each chapter, and this is the actual amount that we received. Just for the information.
Supposedly, we should be getting 20,000 for this one. As of date, we received 13,074 dirhams. The next, for the patron sponsors, we received 2 from Saudi Arabia. And as of our account, at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we received an amount of 31,410 dirhams only for the ticket. We are expecting at least 70% of the ticket to have been sold, which is amounting of 105,000. If we are on the 70%, okay. So right now we are nearly around like 20% of the ticket. Now for the outflows, for the airfare, visa expenses, and accommodation, we have spent 29,475. Raffle expenses includes the printing, the courier, and the prices is 30,325. Souvenir program, plaques, and giveaways 36,704. Office supplies 5,252. Communication expenses 1,000. Our bowling 3,000. Hotel charges and PSME. This hotel costs us 122,700. Preparatory expenses 8,096. Operating expenses 27,200. And administration expenses of 9,000. This is a part and unofficial. We have a 272,752, meaning a deficit of 22,787. question?
My name is Benny Ligut from Parain chapter. Just for clarification, I will just ask for clarification. The list of delegates is 176, and based on the payment is also 176 for 176 persons. Item 2. 176 delegates, and on your inflow is also for 176. But Bahrain chapter paid for 10 persons. In your list, it's still 7 persons. Can I have that clarification? We paid 10 delegates. In the list of your delegates, it's only 7.
Yes, we have accounted for the attended, but that will be noted. Okay, this will be noted, and we will be showing to you. If you will see also from that figure that it also involves the foreign exchanges, the early bird registration. So we will be giving to you the detail of that, what we have received of the 10 early bird.
Because what we have paid actually is already in their house. So I don't think there is a currency adjustment on that.
That will be noted, sir.
Okay.
Will be noted.
Thank you.
Basically, we have seen that one also, but we will show you.
Ransom Perotti, Sodrea chapter. It was shown that we are deficit by 22,787. My question is, I would like to put in the floor how we could meet that deficit.
Yes, that is our major concern right now, because I believe before we settle in all these expenditures, yesterday we were struggling actually for that, and we're trying to, just for your information, yesterday we have used one of our members who happened to be also one of the sponsors. We borrowed 30,000 for them just to settle 50,000 to the hotel investment. So, because we also have a sponsor that promised us that they will remit the money. So we are also counting on that, but the money on hand is not sufficient to actually cover the expenditures. We also borrow money from the BP International. So that's why maybe we can discuss it later after the plenary, how we can recover. If you want to discuss it right now, then I may seek suggestion from the audience and from the past president.
Up or some other method, but still there is a deposit which is 22,000, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Wherein after that, if you do not discuss it right now, does it means that the chapter is willing for the coverage of that amount, or you would like that this is the MERC event, so it means that it should be whatever should be shared and should be what is either the method of raising that amount?
Well, actually, Mr. Past BPI, we are trying to recover that is maybe to have another raffle, but that raffle is intention only for the MERC to recover that amount. If there is enough money for that, or extra money coming out from the raffle, we'll provide it or we'll give it to the next month. That's the initial thought that we have in mind. And if the chapter presidents agree with that, then we probably give a motion for that to include, and so we can proceed. Yes, Vice President Perez.
wonderful accomplishment, though we are still on the negative preliminary report. I believe, wish, and pray that we will come up with a positive report. In order to make our discussion short with this report, and it is a preliminary, not audited, and there have so many noted some kind of discrepancies as far as quantity numbers concerned, I suggest that we pause for this discussion and let the next office group of the BPI, as well as the next group of chapter president, discuss the methodology in the event that we are in a negative position. Because we will not be able to finish at 7 o'clock as is set by this plenary. And we might not be even complete what we have in our agenda, and we don't know what will be the technicality of this plenary. So I suggest that let's discuss this problem after the final report has been made and audited, concurred by the chairman, by the BPI, the chairman, and let's proceed from there. And I wish and pray that we'll end up with a positive rather than negative. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Anyway, I leave it to the BPI to
Dali lang yung rin yan, 20,000, kalahati lang ng 40,000 yan.
Chancellor Ranjo from UA chapter. Okay. Kahit siguro i-audit natin yan, as I've seen, halos lahat ng figures dyan are talagang yun na yun halos. May magbabago man yan, siguro kung na 5,000 or less than 5,000. The negative is 22,000. So sino mag-upload ngayon yan? So as you can see, ang UA chapter, ang dami naming pinagawa dyan sa umpisa. Mahirap gumalaw ng walang pera. Sa hotel pa lang, initially 40,000 na hiningi. Magkano binigay na turnover? 4,000. Humingi kami ng additional na 2,000 kasi wala nga seed money. Pero kulang wala. Talagang in-understand namin. Pero sana, naintindihan ng lahat na talagang hindi ganun kadali gumalaw ng walang pera. Ngayon, we have an initial talk with Engineer Mel, and I appreciate Engineer Mel that he is open. Okay? We proposed initially to postpone the raffle, pero hindi po pwede yun kasi may date doon. So meron pa tayong time kung ayaw natin pahabain pa. Kasi ang problema natin, paano natin save natin. Meron pa tayong time to have the raffle tickets sent. Okay? Otherwise, my proposal is magkakaroon tayo ng raffle tickets, raffle draw again, which is to be held para naman hindi na sabihin na gagawin namin at malinaw yan na may resibo yan, we will held during the year-end meeting of Abu Dhabi chapter.
or maybe we can have a combined year-end with the
Abu Dhabi and Dubai or UAE. Sorry, BPI. And I assure you, Mel and I and Chairman Lito, whatever the excess or the remaining or the profit of that another round of raffle draw will be given to the new or to the 6th MERC host chapter. Thank you.
We'll continue. The selections of the host for 6 MERC.